If people can walk out of your life, girl, just let them go. Like, just let them go. Hi guys, so today's video is going to be somewhat of an impromptu video. I've been wanting to talk on this topic for quite some time now. God bless you. You wanna go inside? And pretty much I was kind of triggered by this topic when I was talking with my mom just about recent years of me growing up and like high school and middle school and just overall my childhood. We were talking about friends, and if any of you guys know me or if you've heard my testimony or anything like that, you know that I've always struggled with friends and basically just with relationships with people. Just overall, I've always had a struggle with relationships, actually. So if you guys don't know, I graduated in May of this year, and from May until I want to say 2014, which was when I graduated high school, I've been up and down with like relationships and rekindling friendships with people from high school or from college, and I can't say that it's always ended up in the best way. And so this video really is just me working through that and just being honest with you guys. Yeah, so this is kind of like my truth. I know a lot of people on YouTube are using that same topic to talk about their life and their experiences with certain circumstances. So I would say that I was bullied for most of my childhood growing up, from family members, from people at school. I remember it got so bad to the point that my mom ended up having to take me to school. That was a lot because the program for my school that I was in, they provided free transportation, but my bus driver was actually the one orchestrating some of the bullying. And I'm not going to go into too much detail today. Maybe one day I will tell you guys my full testimony. But I was just reflecting on how I sometimes was probably my own fault in a lot of relationships. I would say that I used to be a people pleaser, and like I cared so much about what people thought of me and just trying to be accepted and liked, to be accepted by people who probably do not and did not care about me. And after graduating college, I was able to reflect a lot this summer. If you guys don't know, I had surgery and I pretty much wasn't able to do much because I wasn't able to go to swimming, I wasn't able to go to the gym, and a lot of the times I was just either working, and if I wasn't working, I was just reflecting by myself over just like my environment and my lifestyle and things that I was going through. But no, I just like woke up this morning and I decided to film. And this is not going to be much of a serious video, but I just wanted to get some things off my chest. And I think the root of all of my issues is minding my own business. And I think this summer, that is pretty much what I did. I barely talked to anyone. And if I did talk to people, it was like here and there. But pretty much I was able to reflect and take into consideration what relationships I wanted to entertain and which ones I no longer wanted to. I think I had too much time to reflect because I got in my feelings a little bit, but at the same time, I just realized that people will make time for who and what is important to them, and that I can no longer force relationships that don't want to be or that shouldn't be and that may have been set on the wrong principles. As I said before, I had surgery, and I can count on my hand the number of both family and friends that actually checked up on me and were genuine about it. I remember, and this is what really triggered me and my mom's discussion. Basically, there was a person, or there was an individual who, the day of my surgery, texted me that morning to ask me about something that was so minimal and so completely disrespectful, and they were completely insensitive to the fact that I had surgery that day. After my mom found out about that, she was not happy, and then she also told me like, you should be at a certain point where you should know. Basically was saying like, growing up with being bullied and like with relationships, she's like, I don't understand how like you're not getting it yet. Like how don't you have a grasp on basically relationships with people. I kid you not, guys, there is a scripture in the Bible that talks about minding your business. And basically it's 1 Thessalonians 4:11. I'm reading in the NIV version in case any of you guys want to look it up. Basically it says, "And to make your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands just as you were told." That was kind of like a slap in the face to me. As you guys know, I went to see Wendy Williams last summer. We all know what Wendy Williams is known for. She is a gossip column, basically. She tells the affairs and information of other people. And I feel like that was kind of a seed planted in my life when I went to see her. I became obsessed with individuals that probably don't even know I exist, celebrities, friends, boys. I just became indulgent in other people's lives, and I wasn't reflecting and caring and taking time to attend to my own. And it got me to gossiping about friends, about enemies, about family, just people that I should not have been talking about, and I should have been focusing on myself. Pretty much, I think that the fault with that and all was that I would tell things to people that may not have had my best interests. And like, I've had people from high school and from like previous times that I've actually, talked with them or we've spoken, have reached out to me. I'm like a little, like, my block game's too strong, and so sometimes like I either wouldn't respond to their request, or I think that they had a perception of me of previous. With this current state in my life, I think that actions are speaking louder than words. And I think that a lot of the people that I used to talk to, or that we no longer have the same type of relationship, I mean, to me, like, you can't say that you care about someone and that you love someone and that you're friends with somebody and you don't talk. Like, how does that work? Like, let's be honest, how does that work? You say that you care about me, you say that we're friends, you say that we're good, but we never talk. And if we do talk, it's like pulling teeth. Like, yeah, I've had my flaws, and I never have intentionally been mean to someone or have intentionally tried to hurt someone or trying to ruin a relationship. But I think at the same time, people mistake my kindness for granted. I'm a really like bubbly, funny type of person. Most of the time I'm laughing. A lot of the times I get told that I laugh too much. And I don't really understand that, because if you knew my story, you would understand why I'm always laughing. It's kind of like a coping mechanism. Sometimes I'm laughing to keep from crying. And like, I think it's like how I put a shield up. So like, if you guys assume that I'm happy, then that must mean I'm happy. People, I feel like in today's society, are doing the bare minimum. And there's no longer just like a basic decency or effort. Like, if we're being honest, Judas told Jesus that he loved him, right? Peter told Jesus that he was never going to forsake him. We both know how those stories ended. So like, I can't really take your word anymore for saying that you care about me when we don't talk. Sometimes people will text me asking for like certain things, can't even say, how are you? There's just like basic things that are to be expected in a relationship with just like anyone. Like, there's certain things I'm just not gonna do. And I feel like people's basic principles for relationships are just not there anymore. And I think that, like, you guys know when I talk about in my g-eazy story time how I ended up going to this concert because my bailed on me. That situation has helped me to be comfortable with being by myself. And just like overall, I've conversed with people at different occasions about this topic. There are people I know who cannot and will not eat by themselves, or they aren't comfortable with being in their own company. And for me, I find this interesting because I know a friend that would literally make fun of me for eating by myself, and sometimes he would like invite his friends to eat with me. Like, I would literally be listening to music, like have my headphones in, just enjoying myself eating, and he'd bring like a whole group of his friends to come eat with me and never would ask if it was okay. And that actually kind of bothered me because, one, I think we all know the universal code for headphones. Like, when people have their headphones in, it usually means they do not want to be disturbed. So the fact that he even thought it was cool to come sit with me, like, was kind of annoying. I've never seen him actually sit by himself. You should be comfortable with eating in your own company, and I feel like if you can't sit by yourself and be like in your own presence, that says a lot more than someone that is eating with a group of people. Like, if you're always eating with people, like, do you have any alone time to think, reflect, like anything? But like, I've grown to be accustomed to doing things by myself just because I've had instances in the past where people have either canceled or just not followed through with plans. And also a thing that I struggled with, and my mom actually told me to stop doing this, she said to stop paying for friends. And like, I got to a certain point that sometimes I would be comfortable with paying for someone's ticket or like paying for someone to do something with me just so that they could do it with me. Like, there'd be people that like would be like, I don't know if I can do it, or like they'll just make up some random excuse, and then I would offer to pay for them, and then they'd be fine with doing it. And it happened to me over the summer actually. Once, this girl, I really wanted to see a movie, and I had already waited a week because people had canceled previously, and then she said that she wanted to see it, but that she had to go get money from someone or something like that. And then I was just like, oh, I'll just pay for you. She's like, okay, I'll pay you back. And then till this day, you guys, she's never paid me back. And you would think that I was the one that owed her money, how weird she acts now. But that's just like a prime example. Like, my mom was saying, you don't need to pay to have people hang out with you. Like, stop doing that. Like, it's not cool. I don't need to pay to have people hang out with me. Like, I should just be comfortable doing things by myself. I feel like you miss out in life doing things if you're waiting for other people. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna find that right friend or like that right relationship, but I'm no longer going to be forcing people to do things, especially if they don't want to do them. It is pretty evident. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's Tyler Perry's play, Madea Goes to Jail. Basically, Madea gives synopsis or like an idea of like friendships and how you should attend to them and how they should be monitored. And basically, I've kind of always had this idea in my head, but like just recently I've actually started applying it. He sets it up and the idea of a tree, and I'm actually gonna have the video linked below in case anybody wants to like look at it. But she has this mindset of everyone is a tree, and the relationships that you are in or you would be in are kind of around the tree. So there's the leaves, the branches, and the roots. So leaves are people that will not be in your life for a long time. They are typically people that might be in your life for a season or for a chapter, however you guys want to phrase it, and they will come and go in your life because just like leaves, they fall off trees very easily. They're not core, friendships or relationships. They are most likely going to end. And it's actually kind of funny that like literally every single time that either my mom or one of my sisters has said that they didn't care for someone that I was friends with, or they said that they don't trust them, or they said like watch them or something like that, me and that person have not remained friends. And this has literally been the thing since middle school. They'll literally be warning me, but like I end up remaining friends with the person, and then something would happen and we ended up not being friends. And like every single time they would say it and I would never believe them. Branches, they're a little bit more solid. They might break off, but they'll be with you for a little bit more of some time. It might be a relationship that gets you to another stepping stone in your life, or it might give you another opportunity, but those relationships may or may not last because branches, as we do know, they do break off. But then the most vital relationship that she talks about is the roots of your tree. And the roots of your tree are like the firm foundation, like it's the setting stone for how the tree just works throughout, just survives. And the roots of the tree are with you for a lifetime. They won't wither away. They are the foundation. And I feel like in my life I've had very few roots, more so branches, a lot of leaves. And I think that if we get this mindset of not always putting people into the category, but just being mindful of what relationships you have and how they might have different outcomes. Sometimes I confuse leaves with roots. Quick how like things just turn around. Like I wouldn't expect like to be where I am now with like some of the things that have happened and like how I thought relationships would have worked out and how they haven't. Just being mindful of what you deserve, and just realizing that people are only going to do what you allow them to do. If you're putting up with certain habits and tendencies, it's at a certain point where you need to just be like, I'm no longer going to accept this. We all deserve to be treated equally and treated as others would want to be treated. Some recent events have occurred just with the start of the school year that have made me think like, I deserve more, I deserve better, and I'm no longer gonna participate or put up with certain habits from people. I no longer am gonna put up with like manipulation and lies. And I feel like sometimes with relationships that I've encountered, people will say that they don't want to lose you, yet they put no effort into keeping you, which is really weird, but at the same time it's eye-opening. And like, I've been listening to a lot of like sermons, and I listen to a lot of just speakers in general. Basically, like, they talk a lot about forgiving yourself and then being able to forgive others. I have forgiven, like, you know, things that I've done, pettiness, gossiping, just overall maybe not treating others how I may have wanted to be treated in the past. And then after I've done that, I've started to just forgive people. So like, I no longer am holding grudges. I'm no longer keeping records of wrong. Like, I just don't care anymore. You know, minding my business. It's kind of like what Future said, like, I'm good, love, and joy. Pretty much, I don't think people are asking for a lot to just be treated good. Like, it's not hard. Like, people will make time and make and attend to things that are important to them. Like, that's a true statement. And I feel like society has sometimes got wrapped up in this whole thing of like social media. I feel like I also was involved in this a lot, in such a way where I was like putting people's value of me in the form of likes. Like, if people didn't like my picture, or I know some people who like wouldn't like my picture would bring it up to me like, oh, I saw your picture on the thing, and I'm looking through the thing like, but you didn't like it though, so why bring it up? I feel like sometimes we think that relationships on social media are something real, and I feel like we get so involved in likes and followers and like all these things that don't have any value or any meaning to your true self-worth. I was definitely accustomed to this. That was one of my biggest flaws, and I've definitely worked over that. Like, I started clearing out my social media accounts. I think that a really big concept that I've been trying to work through is people bondage, and it's just really just being invested with the opinions of others. Sometimes we get so involved and so invested with what people think of us and not realizing and putting at a higher standard of what God has already said about us. And so that's pretty much where I am right now. I don't know if this video made any sense to you guys, but if you guys enjoyed this video or you have any comments about it, please feel free to leave them down below. And this video is in no way targeting any specific person. It's just relationships that I have been contemplating and thinking about just my entire life, pretty much. If you guys want more videos like this, please feel free to leave a comment below. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
That for sure.